You already have the vision, you just need help planning and executing it. Lucky for you, you have a 24/7 assistant. Today in this video, I'm gonna show you how to use ChatGPT to tailor your dream life exactly how you see it. So we're gonna get into talking about how to do it step by step. So let's get right into the video. First step is that you need to get clarity. So you already have a want. You know what you want to do. You know where you want to live, what job you would like to have, what relationship you want to be in, what network you want to be a part of. That's the vision that you already have. Great, no one needs to know that. Where to start is ChatGPT. So I use ChatGPT every single day. I don't think since it's been out and since I've started to leverage AI to kind of help me through life, I don't think there's been a day where I haven't used it to help benefit me in a way that I probably would have gotten to on my own, but it would have taken me a little bit longer. So using prompts like, help me define what my dream life will look like in 5 years. That's very base level, very bare bones. If you want to get super in depth about it, this is what you need to do. Use prompts like, help me define what my dream life would look like in 5 years. If I want to be a YouTuber, that is my main source of income, and on the side, I volunteer at a pet service place. I don't know, something that's tailored to what your want is. I just kind of pulled that out of the sky. You're on YouTube watching this right now, and I love dogs. So whatever that looks like for you, you have to put it in the prompt and ask it to give you step by step. What does year one look like? What does month one look like? What are the resources financially? What will this look like for me if I'm in a pickle right now? Like, you need to really be honest with your situation and kind of start from there first. ChatGPT can help you break down big goals into bite-sized goals. Step number 2 is to reverse engineer your goals. I've talked about this in a couple of videos previous to this one, but you really have to get super granular in talking about, okay, like if I know that this is my dream goal, I have a timeline of when I'd like to complete it, even if it doesn't complete at the time I want. Say for example, you want to make a certain amount of money by a certain age. Go to ChatGPT and you'll put, I am a software engineer and what I want to do is I want to make $250,000 by the time I am 25 or 26, whatever that looks like for you. And then ask and go a step further and say, break down weekly, monthly, and yearly steps that will help me get to that pay range. And if it's not career related, maybe it's a personal goal. You want to lose weight. Say for example, you have a trip coming up. Summer is in full effect. We are in the month of April. Like it's very close. You want to lose 10 pounds before your next vacation. Go to chat and ask, okay, I have a vacation coming up in August and I want to lose 10 pounds starting in June. What do I do? What exercises? What do I eat? What does my life look like from the point I'm asking this question until the point of the deadline I'm looking to achieve? It's super important for you to be able to know what direction you're going because the speed doesn't matter. Like it's going to take the amount of time it's going to take for you to get there and to truly stay disciplined with it. So a part of you has to understand, I'm getting a really good structured layout at the tip of my fingers. However, it is also still up to me to put in the work to make sure that if I want to see myself 10 pounds lighter by this next vacation, or I want to see myself making this amount of money in my job, I'm going to have to do these steps along with it, knowing that there's going to be a day where you're not going to do it. There's going to be a couple days like that. But as long as you don't do the 2-day rule, you'll be fine. If you're not familiar with what the 2-day rule is, the 2-day rule is when you are missing a workout on Monday, you decide you're not going to put in any time to work on your 5 to 9 p.m. Like the things that you do to get you out of the career that you're in right now to live your dream life. You skip a day, fine. By day 2, you're back at it because the first day, it's a mistake. The second day, it's a pattern. So it's important for you to be really like strategic towards your goals. You have to truly treat it like someone is paying you to show up because essentially they are. Future you is expecting you to show up. So if you don't do that right now, you're kind of not going to do it later either. That's a gag. Don't hate me, just a messenger. Step number 3, your mindset and your motivation. This is pivotal. It doesn't matter if you type in the prompts and you do the work if you don't believe that you can truly get where you're trying to go. Like say for example, you put in a prompt and you say, what does my highest version of myself as a 26-year-old software engineer making $250,000 a year living in the city of my dreams in my high-rise apartment, what does that look like? It may give you and feed you something back where it's like, it'll look like you doing X, Y, and Z step. However, the mindset you need to have is knowing that you can't go out every weekend and spend money on drinks. Let's be real, I'm not a drinker, but I have been out a few times with some friends that love doing it. There's nothing wrong with that if that's what you want to do. Ain't even talking about that part. The part I do want to talk about is how much money you don't see back on the weekend. It is actually crazy if you think about it. You go to work 5 days a week, most of us, and by the weekend, you're thinking to yourself, okay, I want to have a good time because I had a stressful week. The minute you step out the door, you're spending $100 already. Let's be real. Maybe a $15 Uber ride, depending on how far it is. All right, that's great. Then you're spending $20 just kind of getting into a venue. I don't know what kind of venue you're going to. Maybe it's a party. Maybe you have to like contribute some resources, whatever the case is. That's already $35. Then you get to the bar. You kind of go crazy. So we're just going to rack that all the way up to $75 because they're like $8 a drink. By that time that you're trying to go home, back into that $15 Uber, like at best, you're already close to 100, if not over it. So you have to be really careful about how you spend your money because you can be really mindless in thinking it's just a couple of drinks. It's just 1 week in a month. That weekend could be saved. You could save that money and put it towards your dream life, buying the vlog camera you want to buy, buying the new piece for the PC you want to build, buying something towards the dream life that you want, not towards the instant gratification that you get that you kind of barely had a good time anyways when you were out. And then you wake up the next morning feeling groggy, like, why did I even do this in the first place? So you have to be super intentional about that too. So what you can do instead is to ask chat, give me journaling prompts to help me stay aligned with my dream vision, with my dream life. Like sometimes it's hard coming up with what you want to write down or visualize for yourself. So have AI do it for you. I'm not the biggest fan of AI right now. That's unfortunately just the space that we're headed into. If we're not all a fan of it, like I can see the benefits, but I can also see where it can really become a hindrance in the future. But right now we're not at that stage in our life. So we are going to just take it one day at a time and figure it out as we go. So if you're not using AI yet to leverage, it's going to be really hard for you to eliminate steps that you wouldn't even need to take. Like it's just becoming easier and easier. And while that can be a bad thing, we're going to focus on why it's a good thing. Step number 4, create accountability. I used to be the master procrastinator. If I had 5 days to do something, you better believe I'm waiting till day 5 to start it. But it's not something that is a good practice over time. So I told myself, I've really got to get out of this like mindset that if I have this much time to do it, I can just wait to do it. Cause then I stress myself out for no reason. So what I've started to do is ask for prompts like create a routine that helps me get this task done in 5 hours versus the 5 days that I have to do it. Most of the time I have a phone problem. I will get on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram and just scroll for hours. And next thing you know, I'm like, oh, the day went by. Where's the time? I had the time. I just didn't utilize it correctly. So I asked for prompts that help me stay focused. And on top of that, what I've also done is I've added the pomodoro method. So if you're not familiar with that, the pomodoro method is when you do work blocks in little increments of time, and then you have a short break, and then you kind of piece at it, chip at it, and kind of get the thing done that you need to get done. And next thing you know, an hour has passed by, and what would have taken you maybe a couple hours with a few scroll breaks, maybe a snack break, you got done in the hour that you needed it to be done in. So I would recommend by asking for those prompts of creating those routines, helping you stay accountable to get something done maybe in a 2-week time span, adding that pomodoro method is going to help you stay focused because you're like, okay, I only have 25 minutes to get this task done. I'm going to put my phone in a different room. I'm going to lock in, put on some jazz music, some lo-fi music in the background, and lock in. And you're going to see how much more you get done in a day, let alone like an hour. It is truly transformational. I cannot recommend it enough. The thing to keep in mind is that ChatGPT is not magic. It's a mirror. So the way that you pour into it is the way that it's going to pour out as well. And I'm talking as if it's like your 24/7 assistant for free, as far as we know right now as I'm filming this video. It truly is helpful just having at the tips of my finger, like I have to do X, Y, and Z this week on top of creating content, on top of spending time with family and loved ones. How do I manage it all? Should I go by the biggest task? Should I go by the littlest task so I can get little ones done and then do the big one? It helps me stay organized and helps me think through things that maybe I necessarily wouldn't, because I'm thinking about the way I feel, what I choose, like what I would like to do versus what I would not like to do, knowing that the things I need to get done should get done first. So I'm not saying that ChatGPT or Copilot or AI in general, using it as an assistant is going to completely transform your life, but I will say it drastically improves it. I use ChatGPT almost like 2 or 3 times a day, and sometimes it's just to even figure out like what meal preps should I focus on for the week if I know I have a busy week coming up. What should I do about managing my finances if I have a new piece of furniture that I want to buy? buy. Like, treat chat or whatever like AI assistant that you want to use as your personal assistant, your free personal assistant. This is not sponsored whatsoever, but I really want you to take charge of the life that you truly want to live, because it's easy for us to get stuck in this mentality of like, I have so much to do, I just don't know how to manage it all. Use what we have right now. Your resources, when you know about them, completely change the way that you start showing up for life. So make sure that you tap in, clock it, and lock in, because it's not as hard as you're making it. You just needed the steps to get there. So I hope that this video was helpful. I'm going to be making a lot more step-by-step guides along the way. I am actually creating something that's going to be really helpful for any of my content creators or just people that are really looking to like build their own personal brand in the future. So I am excited to talk about that in a later video. But for now, let's get our lives back on track. Let's continue to lock in for quarter 2. Quarter 3 will be here before we know it. And what we want is to feel really in alignment with the life that we're trying to build. And at the end of the day, pray over everything, the smallest things. Pray that you get a parking space when you're running late to work. Pray that you get the job opportunity you have been working towards. No prayer is too small or too big for God. So always think, even though I'm putting in the works, I have to have the faith and I have to lean on God. I cannot lean only on myself, because I am going to truly put myself down when I make a mistake or when life comes to challenge me so I can grow. Focus on the main thing and be really locked in and believe that you can have the life that you want, because it's already here. You just have to start operating as future you is waiting for you to show up as. So I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you guys on the next episode of Party of One Podcast. Peace.